frequent visitors of nudist beaches, what rules and prohibitions exist in such places? Subscribe to the channel, like it, and leave a comment. This will greatly help the development of the channel. Thank you. Once, while skydiving, I got caught in a strong wind and was slightly blown away from the landing site. As a result, I had to land right in the middle of one of these beaches. I was loaded with cameras, and the people who were there, to put it mildly, were not very happy that I had invaded their space. Two muscular guys, who I assumed were security, immediately approached me and escorted me off the premises. It is forbidden to point at people and laugh while looking at someone because it may offend them. In general, the rules are exactly the same as on a regular beach. The only thing I would like to mention is that you cannot sit on someone else's towel and must always maintain a certain distance. As a rule, it is very difficult to get into such a beach, and this is all about security, because people who are guests at such events have paid a lot of money for an invitation, and if you violate the regulations, it will harm the business, and nobody needs that. My parents inherited a house on such a beach from my great-grandparents. There are two main rules. 1. Sit only on your own towel. Even if you are in a big company, one butt per towel. 2. Under no circumstances should you stare at others. For those who want to join the club and relax on such a beach, they must first go through a probationary period and make a certain contribution. Also, if you come to a nudist beach, forget about clothes. This is also a violation. In general, there is nothing shameful or wrong in nudism. Everyone knows what a naked body looks like. It's a kind of culture that is no different from an ordinary beach vacation. Everyone drinks alcohol, plays games, swims, just without clothes. Nudist beaches are essentially public places for those who want to swim naked, but they are not open to everyone and have certain rules, which depend on who visits the beach, what religion they are, and where the beach is located. I know that on some beaches it is not acceptable to undress completely. Certain body parts must be covered. There are also beaches that are visited only by representatives of the LGBTQ+ community, and entry is closed to straight people. My parents bought property on one of these beaches a long time ago. As you can understand, I was involved in this culture from an early age. Every weekend, instead of going to a park or a regular beach, I hung out among a bunch of naked people. You should understand that there are no public nudist beaches. It's all private property. At least it used to be that way. My father was on the board of shareholders of this beach. My sister and I have moved to different countries and cities, but my father still lives in that house, and I want to say that he walks around naked, not only on the beach, but anywhere he needs to go. His wardrobe consists of a few t-shirts and 2 pairs of shorts. Any intimate activities are prohibited on the beach, mainly due to the presence of children. If you are new, you will be watched for a while, because no one wants some pervert to show up on the beach. I also think it's worth mentioning that you can visit such a beach only by recommendation from an experienced member. If you break any rule, you will be blacklisted at most beaches in the country. I've read that nudist beaches help people deal with their insecurities because there are many people with imperfect bodies, including your own. I would say that if you don't like yourself or have some kind of problem with your body, this is exactly the place where you can gain confidence and understand that everyone has certain flaws. As far as I know, each beach has its own rules, because it all depends on the country and religion. On the beaches I visited in Asia, it was forbidden to wear glasses, specifically sunglasses, because with them you could spy on other people, which is unacceptable. It is a serious taboo to photograph people without their consent. You are allowed to take pictures with a large group, but only if no one outside your circle gets into the shot. On some beaches, I was not allowed to bring my phone because, in the 21st century, You can take pictures completely discreetly, and people have become concerned about this. When entering such a beach, bring as few things as possible because people are often checked. Personally, I was searched and my sunglasses were taken away. It would seem, why do you need sun protection on a beach? We will take them from you. This was done so that people would not stare at others, hiding their gaze behind glasses. The rule is extremely stupid, but it does make some sense. I went to a closed women's music festival a few years ago. It wasn't a nudist beach, but each girl could decide for herself how she wanted to walk around, dressed or not. Many girls walked with minimal clothing, and some without anything at all. The shower and toilets were communal, which made me very shy about using them for the first few days. But by the end of the week, I went in topless and came out completely naked. The rules were not significant enough to mention, but I remember one that during meals, you had to put something under your butt so as not to sit naked on the chair. What was funny about this festival was that the performing artists also showed off their charms. On one beach in the Czech Republic, they adhered to one rule that drove me crazy. You could carry phones and video cameras, you could be dressed or not, but you were required to wear a mask so that no one could see your face. I asked them if I had to swim in the mask too. Yes, it is the only thing you must wear. Otherwise, they would call the police and you would be fined. I went to a closed women's music festival a few years ago. It wasn't a nudist beach, but each girl could decide for herself how she wanted to walk around, dressed or not. Many girls walked with minimal clothing, and some without anything at all. The shower and toilets were communal, which made me very shy about using them for the first few days. But by the end of the week, I went in topless and came out completely naked. The rules were not significant enough to mention, but I remember one that during meals, you had to put something under your butt so as not to sit naked on the chair. What was funny about this festival was that the performing artists also showed off their charms. Beach etiquette must be observed in any case, as you are surrounded by people, and should make sure that your behavior does not bother anyone, and that everyone is comfortable. Do not be too loud and attract unnecessary attention. As far as I know, it is not a place for dating. It is of course not prohibited, but it is considered an undesirable place for building relationships. It is forbidden to bring pets to a nudist beach. This is a somewhat strange rule, and as far as I know, it mostly exists in Asia, because people in this part of the world are just obsessed with such nonsense. I want to say that nudists are very tolerant and educated people who will not mock anyone or cause any inconvenience. I also want to dispel the myth that only models relax in such places. I would say everyone except models. These are completely ordinary average people. Cashiers, clerks, waiters. Nudists do not care at all that they are not wearing clothes. They do not care how they look, because you do not choose how you are born. This is the attitude towards life that this culture promotes. Statistics show that 90% of people do not like their appearance, but in such a place, you do not even worry about it, because you are surrounded by like-minded people. I heard that you are forbidden to bring a mobile phone or camera. In fact, this rule does not exist. It is simply forbidden to take pictures of other people without their permission, and under no circumstances should you stare at a person or make any comments about their body. I often visit nudist places, and when I see someone filming themselves, I do not worry about it. But other people, of the older generation so to speak, can just eat that person alive because they should have asked for permission first. I also witnessed a guy blatantly hitting on a girl who was on the beach with her husband. You must understand that there are special security guards on the beach disguised as ordinary visitors. And if anything happens, you will immediately get punched in the face and have problems. A little background. From the 1950s to the 1980s, my parents owned a nudist resort that they organized. We lived right on its territory, so I grew up as an avid nudist. A nudist resort is private property, and people come here for weekends or vacations. It is a kind of club with regular contributions, but also accepts one-time guests for a short period. Usually, such an establishment is centered around some kind of body of water. In my case, it was a lake. You could play volleyball, frisbee, tennis, and many other games on the territory. There were also several cafes on the premises. People come to such places to enjoy the lifestyle they have chosen for themselves. Since every guest at the resort is naked, certain rules were invented. In bad weather, such as strong wind or hail, you better wear clothes. If a woman is visited by the Red Army, she should wear shorts or underwear. When cooking, you must wear an apron because hot oil may splash onto you. I remember that everyone wore sneakers to play games, and you could also see people in headgear. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and watch other videos. We create new content every day for you.